Okay, one day I'm actually going to get an intro for this show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole. And of course, this is the Theme Park Geeks and Divas live stream where we just basically nerd out and talk about all the great stuff that we like about theme parks. And this particular episode, especially I'm excited about because we're talking about all the cool Christmas and holiday stuff that we like to do at theme parks. And returning back is our special guest, Chris Gore. Welcome.
Lorena, thanks for having me. Always good to chat with you. Obviously, I follow you on social media, watch your streams. I especially love when you go to a theme park with a live stream. Like, that's fun.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, really love that.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun to go out and do. And now people have actually figured out that there's people live streaming in the park. Like, for example, and Culture Casino's here with us. I didn't miss that. Like when the parades or like say the fireworks are going on and people are way back and they can't see, they start to find out who's live streaming. So they can get a better view. Like literally, I heard somebody say, "We need to find somebody who's live streaming this thing."
Yep.
You know, it's fun to do, and you get to like meet all kinds of like people when they find out, you know, you're live streaming. They like to like ham it up, or they think you're just recording. Like one person that said, "Oh, are you recording?" I'm like, "No, I'm live right now." They're like, Really? And then they go to my channel and they find the video and they scrub back to see where it is. And I said that they're live, but that's it's a little tough sometimes, but it's fun to do. I love going out to the parks and sharing. So I'm glad you enjoy that.
Yeah. Actually, when you were doing it at the other day at the floor Gatorland, that was one of those moments, I think, that the people were just surprised. And like I said, I mean, when you see somebody with a gimbal or, you know, somebody that's taking an extra effort to shoot some quality stuff, then they're probably shooting live stuff.
Yeah, that Gatorland was one place where I don't think a gimbal has ever like been there.
Wow.
Like ever, because it's not, because like, Chris, have you heard of Gatorland before?
Yes, I have heard of Gatorland. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. It's just like a park with just like gator stuff. It's, you know, it's so Florida. Hardly anybody has ever really seen a gimbal there. So I'm there vlogging and like all the Gatorland people are just like hamming it up. It was so much fun. Like, there's a gimbal in our park. We've only heard of these things, you know, happening. So it was just an absolute great time. And it was so much fun. And I can't wait for us to talk about all the cool, fun stuff we like to do for the holidays at theme parks, especially our like must-dos. So first of all, 16 of you guys in here watching, thank you so very much. Please do smack that like button and share the stream out. So let's see who we got here. We got your Muslim uncle who says third. Whoever was first and second, I don't have you in StreamYards. I'm sorry. So if you're still here, just tell me that you were first there. So good to see you, Muslim uncle, and say hi to Sufi mom for me. And we have Joker Voice, hello, who says, as someone who worked at theme parks on Christmas Day, the only must do is stay home. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. It's gonna be really interesting discussion. And then we have Snorter Poopus Cuber who says hello humans and other critters. Well, hello, polar bear face there. And Darth Scipio, why are you speaking my language? Jambalaya, gumbo. Two things that I have to make when my relatives come to visit for Christmas next week. I've already been told. Those are two things that I have to make. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. And Teresa's here. Hello. She's waving. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. Ram Bam is here with us. Always good to see you. Keely Chow, Roll Tide is here. Says, hey, everybody. Let's see. We've got Mr. Dragon here in the chat. Hello, how you doing? Shum says, don't ask Tom. He'll make a Bat Tom or Skeletor opening.
There you go.
I love Skeletor, but I don't, unless somehow you can mix Skeletor or Bat Tom at a theme park, that'll work. That'll like totally work. They're like, what? That's how much? What?
What?
So glad you like the hair, Ram Bam 3000. Thank you. Thank you. Bonehead says all we need is just a little patience. We do. Some people need patience and common courtesy as well when it comes to theme parks during the holidays.
Yeah.
Jedi Doug, hello, says, what up, everyone? What up, everyone? Good to see you. And we have Eldritch Thrustlord, who's here, says, hello, everyone. Well, hello. So many amazing people in here. So glad to see you. Dave
Hey.
Myers says, hey, Lorena. Well, hello, hello, hello. Raptors 50 is here, says, hello, Lorena, Culture Casino, and Chris Gore. Larry is here. The name's so nice, you got to say it twice. Hello. Robert is here. Hello to you, my dear. Keck44 is here. He says howdy. And I think I have everybody. Let's see. We have Dragon Master, low spec Linux laptop. That makes me laugh hearing that. I hope I'm not buffering. I really do hope. Okay. Okay. I hope I'm not buffering, but
there might be a little bit of that. There's some people out there experiencing some YouTube and errors, and for the folks on the West Coast, apparently some internet issues right now, maybe as well.
Man,
Because of rain. This is how lame California. As if California couldn't get more lame. Rain is disrupting our internet. So if I disappear, my apologies. Yeah, but
stay here. Stay here.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, so sorry. Just do what you can. Do what you can. Appreciate you being here. And Mexican Iron Man for $10. Thank you so very much for that, Mike. Thank you. Gracias, mi amor. Gracias. Listening in while glued to end year tax desk from hell. Hi to the great panel and chat from Brother Mike. P.S. Reina, you look adorable. Oh, thank you. Culture and Chris, you guys look good too, but Reina is prettier, huh?
No one disagrees with that. That's just a true statement.
Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. I so do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So today's show, we are talking about theme parks and pretty much the holidays and what's a must do for the holidays. So I got to ask Chris, because when I was a kid, I would see all you guys in California going to Disneyland for Christmas. So did you ever do that?
I have not. I have not gone for Christmas. I've gone during the Christmas season, but not on Christmas. So that's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
I want to be like Chris when I grow up. I love that Tom says that. Thank you, Tom. I'll go during the season. My favorite holiday, though, happens to be Halloween. I mean, I kind of start in late September and just sort of ride it through early November. But the Christmas season is just great, especially when it comes to theme parks. I'm a fan of like Universal theme park, Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Wow. That is an immersive experience done right. I really wish the creators of the Star Wars land, I'm never going to call it Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars land. I wish they had taken some advice and modeled it after that experience. I think across the board, that Wizarding World just gets great reviews. But Universal's so great here during, we sort of have the budget versions in California of the theme parks. They're much better in Florida. I have been to Universal and Walt Disney World in Florida. They are much better. There's no argument there. We just have less real estate to deal with. So we get the abbreviated versions of the theme parks. But boy, during the Christmas season, I love how they change stuff. You've got even Knott's Merry Farm. I don't know if you're a fan of.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
It's great. I mean, last year when, I still don't know how we're handling all this nonsense that we're living through at the moment. I'm not even going to say the words, but they did this food festival, and that's how they kept the theme parks going. They shut down all the rides, and they did food festival. And the food, everything's based on boysenberry. So they've got like boysenberry jam, boysenberry sausage. So you can get like with boysenberry mustard, and you can get a boysenberry cosmopolitan, a boysenberry beer, boysenberry margarita. It's just, everything is boysenberry themed. It's
Mhm.
so great. And the food festival, they outdid Disney's food festivals that they've attempted, which I think are way overpriced. I think that's sort of a running thread for Disney is everything's just overpriced. But I tend to do Knott's and Universal. Disney I've avoided just because I don't want I want to visit when I don't have to wear a mask anymore. You know, so I'm kind of over that. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. But I grew up in the Midwest. I moved out to California, so it wasn't really a family tradition to go during the
Mhm.
holidays. But I know you have. So, because
Yeah, I have it was more of the family was down here and we really didn't start to go until like several years later because it was mostly okay. My parents only have enough vacation time to go visit the relatives in nowhere, Florida, and then we had to turn around and come back. So the
Mhm.
one year my mother was like, okay, we're actually going to go to Disney World and see what this is all about, for Christmas. So my parents finally got the timeshare in Kissimmee and we're like, okay, we're going to do this. And we went to Disney World on Christmas Day and my mother said, "Oh, hell no, we are never doing this
Really?
again," because she loved what it looked like. We all loved what it looked like. Now, this was back when Disney World was still going over the top with their Christmas decorations. It was just like the parades, the merchandise. You could go to the hotels, like, say, the Grand Floridian. They don't do this anymore, but you used to be able to get, like, free roasted chestnuts. Soon as you
Yes.
walked in, the greeter, who, God rest his soul, he passed away recently, they
Yeah.
would just, like, give you chestnuts. They would just, like, give you stuff in the lobbies. They would have, like, 1 or 2 characters that were there, and they would give you, like, Christmas cookies and hot cocoa or lemonade because you never know if it was gonna be 40 degrees or, like, 90 degrees that day. And they would give you stuff like that, and the parks were decorated, a whole bunch of stuff, but there was just so many people in the Magic Kingdom that you just couldn't freaking move anywhere. So my mother was like, "Okay, we did it. We said we did it, and now we're done." But like a crazy person, I went back for several years because I was used to going. So when you're used to going, you know the things to do and the things like not to do. Like don't make your first trip to Disney World around Christmas or you will hate humanity.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
and yet I had very fond memories of both locations. One of my favorite things to do in Disneyland in around Christmas time is to go and get the handmade candy canes. You actually have to stand in line. They
Oh.
actually hand spin candy canes that are amazing. They're, nice and thick. Three
Mhm.
color candy canes. They taste incredible. And when you see them actually twisting the yummy sugar goodness, like right in front of your eyes, and then they cut it and cool it and give it to you, it's amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
wow.
Yeah.
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 Reminds me of I used to back in the Midwest, a tradition for us was to go to the cider mill. I don't know if
Oh,
you've ever been to an authentic cider mill where you can just
No.
you wait in line, this incredibly long line in the dead of winter.
Mhm.
It was kind of a holiday tradition to visit at least a couple times. You'd wait in this line and you would see them actually crushing the apples, running it through strainers, actually making the cider, putting it in like jugs, these jugs that you could buy or cups, right? And then
Right.
they had these plain donuts, which were very like plain or cinnamon, like crispy. But the way that they made them, it was so they're making the donuts right in front of you. So you'd walk out with like a couple dozen donuts, a couple jugs of cider, hot cider that was freshly made. And that was like a holiday. We didn't have a lot to do in Michigan, let me just say. So we would go to cider mills, but that was a highlight for me because just I'm actually salivating now thinking about it because
mm,
the smell of walking through and seeing them make it with the apples, like it's right there. They're making it in front of you, and then you wait in this giant line and walk out. It's just like that. That was awesome. But when I moved to the West Coast, just having the accessibility of like, Six Flags, Knott's, Universal, like, I mean, I feel very fortunate. Even SeaWorld, I haven't been to SeaWorld in years, but But all of this on the West Coast, I just feel very fortunate. Of course, Lorena, you have so many. You have Gator World, right? Is it Gator World or
Gatorland? It is like a world,
yeah,
pretty
so,
much.
so
Yeah,
you've got the better versions in Florida. I just think that, like, having been to Universal in Florida, oh my God, it's so much. There's so much more to the Wizarding World experience, which is to me I think Wizarding World is probably
you guys can
Wizarding
talk.
World
I'm just gonna let this roll.
Oh my God,
Actually,
it just feels like Christmas to me, like Wizarding World, just because I don't know. I think it was the second Harry Potter movie where it's like set during Christmas, like that. I mean, I'm just thinking of that John Williams music right now. It just sort of puts me in that mood. I do plan to go actually to Universal just because it feels so Christmas, right? And that just, like, everything from the way that the cast members, I don't know if they call them cast members at Universal, the way that
they call them all basically team members. But when you're in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, they're basically witches and wizards that are like walking around.
But it's so great, even from the retail experience to, that light show that's on Hogwarts, like,
at night,
at night, they have the singers come out, like, it just, I look at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and I just think, what could Star Wars have been if they had just done a Star Wars version of that? Like, it seems like such a missed opportunity. I know that, like, a lot of not just theme park YouTube channels, but other YouTube channels talking about that Star Cruiser experience that just looks, from the video that's been released,
awful.
Looks kind of embarrassing. It looks like generic space movie, or like almost a made for TV version of Star Wars from the 1980s. It looks like 1980s space show. Yes. And I almost want to do a GoFundMe so Ryan Cannell will go and just do a video, because he hates theme parks, and that would be worth it just to see him bitch about it. But I don't know, like, I'm really curious when the first videos come out, because they really curate the press that gets to go there and talk about it, so it's all going to be positive at the start. But I'm curious what the people that are paying for that. I just think, I don't want to be a downer, but just like, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is just, like, to me, that never gets old, right? It's so well done. And even the things with the wand experiences, like, I have a wand, but it's actually more fun to watch other people do it, especially kids when they figure it out, right? And they're able to, exactly. It's just like that kind of interactivity, and the fact that there are secrets in the park is just amazing. The West Coast version doesn't have the train, right? The
Hogwarts Express.
Yeah. And the Diagon Alley is so great in Florida, with the dragon on top of the breathing the fire is just like, it's just nuts. So God, see, now this makes me just want to go to Florida. What am I doing? I'm convincing myself.
It's insane. And the funny thing about this is, this was when they were just putting the Christmas decorations up. So it's even more obscene, like, now, especially if you go at night and you go through there, like, there's different Christmas shows, like the Frog Choir sings like Christmas, like holiday themes, and they have like another show where it's all holiday themed. And even, the music, and it all ties in great, because every single Harry Potter movie has like a Christmas section in it. And it's so immersive that literally this is like my top must do if you're in Orlando for the holidays. It is crowded. There's no flipping way around it, because everybody wants to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. But it's an awesome, fun experience. You feel like you're actually in the movies during
that's what we all want, right? We want to live that experience. And even down to, like, the butterbeer, the food options, all the food options, like, kind of fit the world. And you can get pro tip, you can get butterbeer with a shot of Jameson, which I strongly recommend. Or bring your own. Bring your own in a flask. Although, can I give my flask tip?
Your
flask tip.
Here's my flask tip. If you want to sneak alcohol into a theme park, one, don't put it in a flask, because a flask says this is alcohol. What you do is you just bring it in a Starbucks cup. That's all you do. If you're able to bring in like outside drinks, or you could put vodka in a water bottle. There's just many different ways to do this.
Sure.
Don't involve don't involve bringing a flask. I think a flask just says this is alcohol. A coffee cup says I'm bringing in coffee. Should you wish to go that way, this is options for adult beverages. The theme park experience, keeps getting pricier and pricier. So
you might need a drink.
You might need several.
But one of the cool places to eat too is, and Lorena's video didn't get to show you, but inside Seven Broomsticks is Christmas decorated too. So when you go in to eat, it is yummy.
There was a flyby.
Yeah, you did a flyby early in the video. Yeah, it is very cool. And you're right, down to every detail, including the music and the carolers and everything else. And and it's weird. There it is, the Seven Broomsticks. Yeah, so inside there, they usually do a good job of decorating for Christmas as well. Obviously, on the outside, it's decorated. At night, it looks incredible.
It looks absolutely amazing.
But it's just it's one of those great experiences I think that you don't get. And this is again, let's give shout out to Universal for grabbing a bunch of Imagineers from Disney to do this. And to listen to the creator of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
listen to J.K. Rowling, because she was the only way this was going to work is if she had a say so, and she did, and this was amazing. And they get the sight lines are great. They hide all the buildings. They hide the sound stages. They hide the the ride systems and the buildings really well. And Disney's getting less good at doing that, and Universal's getting better at it. That's weird. I never thought that would happen in my life.
It's so weird. Oh, hold on one second. Aiken, thank you so much for the $3.99 Australian super sticker. The Shiba Inu dog, left to right, fart and hearts. Thank you so very much. I love that super sticker. And thank you for your support. Like 25 of you folks in here watching. Yes. Thank you so very much. Please, you smack that like button. This is the Theme Park Geeks and Divas live stream. And we are chilling here with our special guest, Chris Gore, just talking about theme park stuff along with Culture Casino down here, especially with regards to the theme parks. Hey, Griffin Turbo, and hello, Maria T and Telly, and Daryl the Derelict. Yes, immersion. Yeah, immersion here is it's insane. I tell people it's immersed. Let's put it this way: the immersion is so good. Okay. You will not find Nocturne Alley unless you are looking for it.
Oh yeah. You might have to ask or get help, and that's the thing is just this is what years later, mind you, it's been years, and when they put together, there were different. There was a way they had time to get Galaxy's Edge correct. They had time. They had it correct, and then they screwed it up. They went back. They sent the Imagineers back to the drawing table to put the craptastic sequel trilogy stuff into it, which now you're stuck with. And I let the cat out of the bag on Friday, and Jay Drunk 3PO said basically finally came out and gave everybody the exact things that were going on. They're putting the Let's Get High Republic into that area. So you're going to have in that new hotel the Let's Get High Republic.
You gotta be kidding me.
Stuff. And the backstory for some of those characters are from the Let's Get High Republic, and you have the you're going to have that infiltrate Batuu as well.
I thought the High Republic kind of tanked. I mean, like the novels came out and it just sort of, thank you, Lugnuts 6. I appreciate that.
Lugnuts, awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Appreciate that intro. Like I don't understand why they're leaning into something that has failed. It just seemed like such an obvious thing to make it Mos Eisley, right? And you can mix it up. It could be like Mos Eisley, kind of in the Mandalorian era, right? Like a couple of years after the events of Return of the Jedi. I think that's what people are most familiar with. When people's good memories of Star Wars come up, they probably think that. You can even mix in some prequel stuff because that happened before, right? There'd still be some prequel holdouts or what I love about the Harry Potter or Wizarding World is that cosplay is encouraged. Like
Right.
you see people, guests walking around dressed up to be a part of it, and I think that that's great. Whereas I don't think we're seeing a lot of that at Galaxy's Edge. It just
They won't let you.
I went a couple times and I just thought it just made me feel sad that, you know, and look, I'm not a theme park designer. I watch channels like yours, Lorena, and other theme park channels, and I've listened to some super uber nerdy inside baseball podcasts that go talk to designers of rides and whatnot. But I'm thinking, when I have better ideas, that's a bad sign, because that's not my business, right? But I am an enthusiast of theme parks, and that getting that so wrong is just disheartening, and is really sort of positioned, especially with the you know, affordable annual passes at Universal. Again, I don't work for them. I'm not getting paid any to do this. I'm just I am a person that just goes to them, right, and pays. Universal is just a much better value. So
miles a better value. And that's the thing that, you know, Lorraine and I have talked about is even during the holidays, they've taken all the value out of the theme parks like Magic Kingdom and stuff like that. I mean, they've now created all these pay for events, these add-on parties that people are having to spend more money so that they can get the Christmas parade. They get a chance to see some of these things, you know, and it again, at every step, Disney removes value and Universal is adding. So it's weird.
It's like one of those things now. And I've noticed, like, this happens especially if you're grocery shopping, or even, like, you notice they just sort of take stuff away, right? Like, it's just like smaller portions. So it's like, this is the low calorie pack, and they're just giving you 1 ounce of chips, right? Like, so what's I mean, like, it's ridiculous. And I feel like theme parks have done that. I feel bad for people that, like, go on the day when they have those events, which are in the evening usually. So you have to be shuffled out at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened at the Magic Kingdom when I went. I mean, I already knew about it, but people who were like, "Hey, we're the Magic Kingdom. We're going to be here till 10 o'clock." No, you're not, because they're going to kick you out at 8 o'clock, because guess what? They have this party that's starting at 9 o'clock that you had to pay $150 per person, you know, to attend. And then you go to, say, Universal, where they have the parades are back, like the Christmas parade, which is insane, as like the Macy's balloons, and it even like blows glitter and whatnot from the tribute store that they have, which is there too. They have a special viewing area for the parade if you are a pass holder.
Okay.
Disney doesn't do that. I'm actually going to try that out this weekend. Last time I did it, I went to a different spot, but they actually have a place set aside for pass holders to do that. If you go to either park, well, no, actually to the studios, there's a pass holder lounge. So if you want to go in there, get something to drink, charge your phone, hang out, guess what? It's there for you. So all of this Christmas stuff, even the and I'm actually going to switch over, because I was really excited that they brought it back, because they didn't have it last year because of the Wu-Tang flu popping off and everything.
Right.
The Grinchmas show is back.
Oh, that's cool.
Literally, like a freaking Broadway show. In a way, I call it Broadway Light. This is included with your admission. I mean, if you want to pay for the extra tour, for the VIP spots, whatever, you can do it. But you can go in and see the show. Nice. And you don't have to pay, you don't have to pay extra, for it.
Yeah, Who's are in Whoville.
Look at
the Who's in Whoville.
Yeah, and Max is a real dog too.
But Disney used to do this. I mean, one of the favorite things that I used to see at the Hollywood Studios Park was the Hunchback of Notre Dame show. And they would theme occasionally, as the seasons changed, the shows around those things. So it can be very frustrating. And yes, there were private parties, especially at Disneyland. I've been to several of those private party events at Disneyland. So
do you think, Culture, do you think that they're going to just not do any Hunchback of Notre Dame stuff because it's insensitive?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. You know, they don't. I look. They're pulling away from anything that could have the slightest bit of controversy and leaning very specifically into things that feed a particular message, and it's disheartening because there's all these amazing stories they have in their past. There's incredible stuff, and they've been moving farther and farther away. And I mean, Disneyland. I mean, I grew up at Disneyland. Basically, I hate to say it that way, but it's kind of true. And so, you know, it was a place where, you know, I spent a lot of time. I mean, I don't even want to be. Look, I was a kid that had to use tickets. They used to have tickets for the rides. There were
Ticket
I
back.
remember the tickets
Take it back.
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm like, I'm old enough to remember these things, guys. So it's like, you know, and parking was free. I mean, now the park at Disney World, anywhere at any of the 4 parks is $25 a vehicle, 27 a vehicle.
25, 50 if you want quote
The
unquote
preferred. Yeah, which means, you know, you don't have to walk from, you know, Mount Olympus to get there. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And like I said, I remember these things, right? And it like I said, Disney's constantly removing value and upcharging, and Universal minimal upcharges. Like I said, I mean, Halloween Horror Nights completely different. That's a whole
that's a different thing.
Yeah, different animal.
But the Christmas party at Disney isn't a whole other thing. It's the same things. That's just now in a Christmas party format, or the Halloween parties, or anything
I
else.
just hope the one that I hope they don't change is I love to get myself a delicious Dole Whip and go into the tiki room, you know, with all the beautiful like parrots like singing, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites, but it features a whole bunch of ethnic stereotypes speaking in accents.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering when that thing is going to get changed or altered, or, you know, there's going to be like 10 people complain and then it trends on Twitter with 100 people talking about it. And then, you know, they changed it for those reasons.
Ignore the 9,999,099 people and listen to the one knucklehead. And that's what these corporations are doing now. And again, I mean, it's just, if you're loud enough, you can influence these corporations because they don't want to look bad, because again, it's about this particular message. But look, this is a free show. Lorena is showing you this is a value added to your visit for Universal. So
totally. The only time that you're really going to spend is to get in line, which you need to get in line an hour before they let you in.
I think you can take a beverage in here, if I remember correctly.
I believe you can. I think
I may have had a beverage in here before.
It's all better with beverage. Can I do a quick aside real quick? Because I'm just so excited.
Oh, one whole second. Thank you for that 99-cent super sticker, that diamond. Thank you so much, my dear. She was on last night with me on Toxic Femme on Midnight's Edge. So thank you, my dear. Oh, go right ahead, Chris.
Oh, we hung out at San Diego Comic-Con. So I want to say hi to her.
Nice. Oh,
we just sort of went out, and it was like San Diego Comic-Con was like Comic-Con in the 90s. It was just people, you know, talking about nerd stuff. There wasn't the distraction of all the outside activations, as they call them, or big parties like whatnot. It was just an old school Comic-Con in San Diego. I saw Gary from Neurotic there as well. And it was I don't know, I liked it. At first I was like, oh wow, it's really empty, and I'm like, oh, this is what it used to be like. We just go to hotels, we have hotel room parties, and we talk about nerd stuff till the wee hours, you know, at night. It was great. So I hope it stays that way. Actually, and LA Comic-Con was similar. Although I went to a Ghostbusters theme. It was called the Slime Ball, and it was a Ghostbusters theme party, which was very fun. But no, just a quick thing. Last night I saw Spider-Man No Way Home. I am saying nothing. My lips are sealed because I cannot wait to talk to everyone about it. I haven't felt that way at the movies in years. It's a movie I want to see more than a few times. I'm seeing it again on Thursday. And that's all I'll say. So obviously no spoilers. I just cannot wait. And if you do anything over the holidays, that is a movie I recommend, and I can't wait. I'm just gonna say no more, because if I say anything, you could read into it. But I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to see it, but that's
Well,
probably gonna be something
Lorena,
I'll see over the holidays.
please see it as soon as you can, because I was not a huge fan of those first two Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I thought he was good as Spider-Man. I thought that I actually like Ned. I think he's funny, but I don't want to say anything more, except it's so good. I can't wait to see it 3 more times. Please. Lugnut 6. I'm from Michigan. I get you. Didn't they have I think they had a Detroit Comic-Con. Am I wrong? Or was it Motor City Comic-Con?
Did they?
I don't know. Anyways, I just had to throw that out there, because I had people messaging me, and I'm like, I don't want to tell you anything. Just, I'll talk to you after you see it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to say anything. And if you can avoid things, avoid it. Just, yeah. It's something we need now. Good.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay. Yeah, come on, load. Okay, load for me. Okay, here you go. So here's the other part. All right. This was early. Now they've done more since this time, but this is how they basically decorate over in the Seuss land. Yeah, for Grinchmas.
Yeah.
Which looks, amazing.
Cool.
Compared to, I mean, Disney's basically, I want to say, just decorating the front of the park.
Yep.
But at Universal, it's like throughout the whole park.
Yeah, it's just like what they do at Disneyland. Okay, that's the thing. Disneyland is decked out, right? I mean, again, that's home base operations, Burbank, California. Right down the street. You have you're going to get all the decorations in Disneyland. You're even going to get them in California Adventure, right? You're going to get it. I mean, if you want to see some amazing stuff, check out Radiator Springs at Christmas. It's really cool. It's well decorated.
Man.
One of the things they do is they build out an overlay in the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland that is Nightmare Before Christmas, which is incredible, right? It is amazing. They don't do that in Florida. So Florida, they dress up Main Street for the most part, and then it's just tiny little bits here and there. Whereas, you go to Universal, as Lorena pointed out, you walk around, everything's decorated with its own theme, et cetera, et cetera. And Chris, as somebody probably already mentioned in the chat, those drawings exist for converting Tiki Room. So,
oh wow, I love that.
No, you don't.
I love that.
Yeah.
Really? Wait a sec. I thought converting your own space into a Tiki Room.
No. They're going to take Tiki Room. They are trying to deny it. There are drawings in place to change Tiki Room.
To what?
Moana or something.
Moana.
Yeah. Will we learn all the parrots' different pronouns? Is that what they're gonna?
I don't know.
Is that what they think people want? I gotta think there's certain aspects of this culture that, because I look at photos of myself from the early 90s, and I'm like, oh my god, I wore parachute pants. I look like, there are many photos I could share with you where I look like a fucking idiot. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I look terrible,
right?
And so I look awful. And I got to think that at some point, some of the people in this culture, when they kind of come more into adulthood, are going to look back at a version of themselves and say, are they going to say, wow, I was a real a-hole? Are they going to do that? Will they have that sort of sense of self or self-reflection? No. Or internal inventory to be able to just look at their own behavior and look at the way they treated others, whether it was online or in person, or some of their opinions about things. Because I really feel like it's a young group of people that are kind of driving this, and a young, uninformed people. Yes, parachute pants in the 90s. Yeah, look, if there's a fashion trend, trust me, I am way behind on all of that. Yeah, well, exactly.
Michigan is 10 years.
Might have been the late 80s. But all I'm saying is, I mean, I look at like, I mean, I think everyone does this. You look at yourself like, ugh, yeah, I had that hairstyle in high school. So I just wonder if culturally speaking, certain groups of people will look back at themselves and say, ooh, why was I doing that? Why was I, what was I thinking? Right.
But Chris, self-introspection is lost on these folks. They that's not what they do. Right. I hate to say that, but that is not what they do. They're incapable of it. I've never seen the level of narcissism that we have now. And I've been around for a while. I've been around more than 50 years now. I can say I've never seen
you look great.
Yeah.
You look great, dude. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But I turned 51 a month ago. But anyway, but no, I look at these things and I go, okay, I went to Disneyland when there was a place called Videopolis, right? We just had the launch of MTV. They played music videos. It was like a dance club in the middle of Disneyland. It's now the Fairy Tale Theater or something, and it's the next place where they were going to expand Star Wars into. But I would never go like you did. I would never walk around looking like I did back then. I look back at that time and I go, wow, I was ridiculous, the opinions I had were ridiculous, and the perceptions that I had of others were ridiculous, right? And again, you gain that kind of wisdom as you grow, but you're able to reflect on that. I just don't think we're dealing with people who are going to be capable of doing that.
We're not, because what I can tell you, and I just kind of want to inject a little bit, like for what's going on with Splash Mountain. Okay?
Oh yeah, don't even
that really hurts. It hurts me. It's like based on stories that my grandmother used to tell me.
Yeah.
And so it's like they're swapping out that culture to drop in an IP. So it's kind of just it's okay if you want to update it, but to basically say that this was quote unquote harming people, that was not the point.
And it's a lie, and you're putting a princess in a thrill ride. That's stupid.
That doesn't fit, because I can see in Disneyland, because that's in New Orleans Square.
Yeah.
So that can kind of fit, but here in Disney World, it's like it's in the middle of Frontierland.
But technically, it's not. Technically, it's in Critter Country, and Critter Country used to have the Country Bears Jamboree, which they pulled out to make it a flipping restaurant and a stupid Winnie the Pooh thing. But sorry, I don't have opinions at all.
Winnie the Pooh. Don't get me started on Winnie the Pooh. Don't get me started, because they got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disney World for Winnie the Pooh, and I will never forget.
Which was also dumb.
Never forget them from that. Thank you, Fat Santa Seagal, for the 2 Canadian $2 super chats. He says, for the first one, I will never forget Vermont, Chris. Never.
Wait, what was I in Vermont? Was something in? Okay, maybe elaborate on that story.
Did you go cherry picking with a Fat Steven Seagal maybe or something?
I'm trying to think. Have I been to Vermont? I've been in New Hampshire. I've been. I don't know. I don't travel as much as I used to because of the way of the world. And Raver Pants turned into a backpack. UFOs. I've never heard of that, but I wish I had a pair of those now. That seems really useful.
I've never heard of that before.
Never heard of that. I bet you could do a Kickstarter for that. I bet it would make a lot of money. I contribute to a lot of weird Kickstarters, so if you make that, hit me up. This is great. This is the Gatorland.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunks, for the Canadian $2 super chat. I appreciate that so very, very, very much. Thank you. Yes, folks who are my members, and if you saw my Welcome to Florida stream on Sunday, you got to see this. This is literally Florida wrapped up in a wonderful local theme park, literally for Christmas. You've got Gator Claus, who has like a little setup where he's on an airboat.
That's so great.
Pulled by alligators. And you got like a Krampus Claus, and you've got like elves running around,
and the
snowballs.
Skunk ape.
Yes, this is the skunk ape, which is actually real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real. It's great. You're gonna love this, Chris.
Wait, okay, yeah, you're gonna love this. So literally, like I said, I was there with a gimbal, and they hadn't seen one before, and they actually said, "Oh, we'll sing Christmas carols for you."
Did you share the audio, Lorena?
Hey, Chuck Jose, Mr. Dragon.
Lorena, did you share the audio?
Ah, shoot. Hang on.
I'm like, nobody can hear.
Dang it.
Wait,
Can't believe I didn't
quick
do
question.
Yeah.
Do you is Flash Mountain still a thing? Because I remember, and this
Used
is
to
the
be.
early days of the internet.
Used to
There
be.
was a- what's that?
Used to be, yeah. I think I don't even think the website's up anymore. But back in the day, yeah, every image of Flash Mountain used to be collected on that website. Used to be able to
Yeah.
find that. Yeah.
But now I'm sure that if they notice that anyone ever does that,
Oh, it's yeah.
they don't even display it so you can take a picture of it off there.
Nope.
But what I always do when I do Splash Mountain is I try to do the opposite of what everyone's doing. So everyone's like, raising their hands and screaming, and what I'll do is just sit like.
Oh, dude, no, that's
That's my favorite. Is that but as I'm going down, I'm trying to hold my pained expression, like this isn't fun. And then it just sort of it's funny, whatever.
My best thing, Chris, is to take a park map and like just be looking at it, like showing your buddy, everybody's looking at the park map.
Okay, that's another good one.
Yeah.
But I like when people just try to be creative when they know they're about to be photographed and just try to do something interesting that's not the traditional like a surprised look on their face. I don't know.
Oh, Chris, you sing that?
What's that?
CWD Trixie says, show Chris
Oh,
Gore
no.
singing skunk. Oh,
Not
so me
singing
showing.
Skunk
Oh,
Ape.
okay, I read that wrong.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna show him.
I haven't seen
I forgot to hit the button, but I'm gonna do that.
Let's
I
hear it.
already
Let's hear it.
shared. But thank you, BK Panther, for the $10. Thank you so very much for that tip. I sure do appreciate that. But yes, thank you, BK Panther. Yeah, this is the singing skunk ape, and hopefully I was smart and hit the button again.
I called the talent agency.
Can you hear it?
And I asked them to send a Christmas caroler, and I guess they misheard me and they sent a cryptid caroler. So I have Skunk Ape here, and essentially I'm just trying to teach him how to do Christmas caroling. We'll just go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, he photobombed my
Dashing through the
screen.
snow. Over hills we go. Ha, bells on bobtailed rings. What fun it is to ride and sing a sledding song tonight. Oh, jingle bells. No, it's not Mothman smells. I'm sure he does smell, but that's not the right. Stop improvising and just do it the way we rehearsed it. All right, calm down. I'm going to calm down. Ready? And we're back in the Christmas spirit. Can we try again, please? Do it the way we rehearse it. All right, here we go. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me and a partridge in a pear tree.
This is like nuts.
My true love gave to me good and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
I can see young children crying from this. I can see them getting scared and crying.
Who wrote that?
He actually runs away from kids. The skunk ape is scaring kids.
Oh,
that's
that's
never went to Julie on. Last song. Can you all help us with this one, please? All right. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Everyone. La 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 la. Skunk Ape, you're doing fine. That was very.
I love it.
Last big bang. All right, here we go. We wish you a Merry Christmas. What? Oh, I don't want to say that. Whatever, fine. We'll do it your way.
What?
All right. We wish you a Yeti Christmas. We wish you a Yeti Christmas. We wish you a Yeti Christmas and a swampy new year.
Well, you might want to rename the stream Christmas theme park must do's and must don'ts, because I think this might be a must don't.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
He's not house.
I just think it's too hauntingly
Yeah.
real. I mean, that
It's one of those fun things.
He is, but seriously, Lorena's not wrong. He runs away from kids. He's afraid of kids, right? And yeah, I thought that was brilliant. And you know, just he literally photobombed. Lorena was walking around her live stream, and he just rolled up on her.
Behind her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah,
totally photobombed it.
yeah, and like I love, like you said, I love this. This is a small business as a theme park. This is why this is the kind of thing you want to support in Florida. It's entertaining in a really cool way. And of course, obviously Gators, like there's a couple Gator shows. You can spend 4 or 5 hours here or a whole day. Like Lorena was saying, I can't wait to go. I'm definitely going to go with Lorena next time I get a chance. But I love it that they put so much effort into this. Really.
Mr. Tickle Trunk.
It's a
Florida
Florida
for
thing.
$2 Canadian. It's funnier on meth, Chris. It's a Florida thing.
That's great. That's what I actually really like. I mean, obviously there's Universal and Disney. I think they're obviously two of the biggest. They're in the top, right? And I don't know actually which is more profitable now. It sounds like they're all struggling at this point, but or at least struggling for, you know, that vacation dollar. But I like the smaller parks that actually they seem to try harder. Like that's why I always like to go to Knott's. It's like Knott's is just like for what you pay, which is so cheap, and you can get an annual pass for almost nothing. It's like, you know, like in addition, you can even get a pass where you get to eat for free every time you go there.
Yeah.
And it's like $50, right? And you can even get a drink pass. You just bring your thing and they just fill it with soda. Yeah. Like, so they really go out of their way to just try much harder to earn your loyalty, right? Mm-hmm. So something like this Gator Park, I would not miss that if I were in Florida, which because Lorena, you're there and I have you. I don't know. Like part of me is just like, would it be fun to move to Florida? I don't want to live in a big city, but what's like I live in Pasadena, which is just outside of LA. Like, is there like a small city, like outside of a big city that I could be comfortable? And my only another big reservation for me about Florida is, you're going to think this is weird, humidity. I grew up in Michigan and the humidity I feel so lethargic. It just gets me. Don't mind the rain though. I don't care about rain.
It's
humid. It's worse down here, but you get used to it, and it has a season, and then it's like not, you know, and then it's not terrible. Then it's over. Yeah. But it's strange. You get used to it. Just the rhythm of how things work around here. It's like around that. There's plenty of like other, you know, small towns around. Like Winter Park is one of my favorite. Yeah. It's like one of these little it seems like you're in like Old Town Florida because it was built with a lot of northern money. At the end of the Civil War, it's just gorgeous little town.
A little bit outside of Orlando is the place I'm looking at, Chris. It's called Claremont, and it's got dirt and hills and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I like dirt and hills and stuff. And so there's not a lot of that to be found in Florida. So
thank you, Dragon Master.
Yeah. So but there are a lot of real in the Orlando area, in Central Florida. There's a lot of really, you know, decent places. And
we don't have a Knott's, Terry Rose. I don't even think we have anything close to that at all in Florida. That's why I was intrigued with Knott's. Yeah, you'll have to watch a couple of episodes of my Walking to Florida live streams. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I will definitely. I'm just weighing my options as things become more horrible in California, where I just can't even predict what we're able to do. So and where I live, I'm very fortunate. In Pasadena is like a small town just outside of LA. It's a very walkable city. So I love to be able to just like, I use my car a couple times a week. I walk everywhere. I walk to Trader Joe's, you know, I walk to my local pub.
I remember Pasadena. I love visiting Pasadena.
Chris, okay, so I tell you what, in Orlando, you just buy a place in Bay Hill. the Bay Hill
Bay
Country
Hill.
Club. Yeah, and you can
Mhm.
walk to the best Trader Joe's in all of Central Florida. It's like literally almost right outside the gates there. But yeah, Bay Hill's the famous golf course that
Nice.
was
Mhm.
designed by not Nicholas, the other fella. Palmer.
Which
Palmer.
yeah, Arnold
Yeah.
Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at a place in there, beautiful houses, decent amounts of land.
Mhm.
Yeah, I looked in there. It was on the considerate list. And
Well,
with your California money, you could buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
well, see, this is the thing. Like, I talk to friends who have mortgages, own their homes,
Yeah.
and their mortgage is half of my rent in
Yes.
Pasadena. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what am I doing? Which is why it's ultimately even more impressive, Lorena, your hair, because with the humidity is not kind to hair. So your hair is even more impressive in light of that. I just want to point that out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. Watch my streams from like around the summer when I moved here.
Melting.
Oh no.
It was
Melting.
insane. Yeah, don't
Good
get
advice on the
don't get me
HOAs.
started on the HOAs because I
Yeah.
have one. I
Yeah.
have one. Let me
Oh,
tell
really?
you. Yeah, I do. They're not bad. I will say this. There's always somebody where I live. There's always people sprucing up things, replacing things. You know, it
And
looks gorgeous. They keep them at, they keep the place looking extremely nice. So
if you like the
see how
beach,
that
Chris,
goes.
as a California kid, and now that you moved from Michigan, you would probably like the Gulf Coast. I mean, there's a lot of Gulf Coast cities that are nice. Not Claremont,
Venice.
Clearwater. Clearwater's not terrible
Mhm.
if you can avoid certain parts, and not for any other reason than you might get accosted by somebody who wants you to read a book.
Yeah.
You have obviously lots of cities around there. Tampa Bay is like right next to Clearwater. There's some really nice stuff on the Gulf Coast too, and it's not that far away from Central Florida if you want to go to the theme parks.
Oddly enough,
Yeah.
I'm not a beach person. I reflect light. That's how
Oh,
light I am. If I get down to my skivvies, yeah. So I'm not necessarily, but I'm not opposed to it. My whole thing is like a walkable city that's near a freeway where I can get to a big city if I want to, but I live somewhat removed, and that's what I have in Pasadena. But I also have like $6 gas. I in fact I drove down by a station in LA. It was like $6.93 for gas. I don't. In addition to just that everything, the tax rate, the state taxes is just crazy.
Well, no, there's no income tax here. There's no income tax here. There are toll roads, which you will get used to using, so you don't have to use the main drag I-4, which is always jacked up. But plenty of those like little towns around Orlando, you got to get around. You just hop on the express.
There's parts of Winter Park. She's not lying. That are going to feel very Pasadena to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I just like small, and also like I like bars and restaurants that are privately owned, not chains.
Then you're gonna like Winter Park.
Yeah, just like I mean, most of the bars and restaurants where I hang in Pasadena, like I know the owners, so I go in and I want them to thrive and get through, and most of them have, but some have not. It's kind of disheartening. So yeah.
Well, there's lots of local restaurants and bars that have been around for years, especially in the Winter Park area. I know really well, so that's why I recommend it. But you're making it sound really attractive, but I need a good public transportation system. That's the kind of the drawback about Orlando. Their public transit, it's non-existent. Pretty much.
Not good anyway. I mean, downtown Orlando's not terrible. I mean, there's some really nice housing you can get in the downtown area. But again, you're in a downtown area, so
exactly, and that's got its other drawbacks going with it too.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to move over to Disney World because there are a couple of must-dos that I actually like there. The first one actually is the Land Pavilion, which looks it's okay. If you like plants and stuff like that, it's
I love this part of
it. However,
living with the land
for Christmas, they swag it out with all kinds of like lights and sand snowmen, which is like an oxymoron because people are just seeing snowmen or whatever. So the whole pavilion is decorated for Christmas. What do you call it? The biodome. Actually, yes. That's exactly where it is. My favorite part is where they keep the fish and the shrimp and the alligators when they have them.
Yeah.
Well, they're babies. They're babies, but
yeah, they have a nice aquaponics setup with some bass and perch and all kinds of cool stuff. This is a really cool thing.
you can see things like cacao plants, like plants that you don't normally see that they're growing, here. And with the Christmas lights, it just makes it look really different. The ride gets traffic that it really doesn't before, like literally the times, the uptick, because people want to go just to see like all the Christmas lights. Like they even have a different narration track when they talk about things, for Christmas, like chocolate, like oranges, citrus fruits, stuff like that they talk about that are grown there. So it's really cool. Like they have the big huge ornaments that they have. I'm just gonna skip through here like a little bit more. Like, oh, that's where they keep all the habitat, where they keep all the fish and the shrimp and stuff like that. I don't care. Well, I do, but not really right now.
Well, at least you're getting ads.
Money, I want people to actually see this here. Yeah. Yeah, so this is where
There
they
it is.
keep I always call this the red lobster section, because this is where they have all the fish and the shrimp and
on the right, you have the
fish
gators.
farms. Yeah. Sometimes they have like the baby gators that are there.
Those are channel cats on the left.
Wow. Yeah, so it's like they have it all, all cool and decorated. So it's a nice side thing to do. It's not a long wait. It looks cool. Christmas lights are there because honestly, the Christmas lights are kind of sparse on the outside in the park. Like we were saying, like Culture and I were saying earlier, it's like the Christmas lights they only put out in the front. It seems like with Epcot, they're only in smatterings around the around the world pavilion. So that's a cool ride along. I've got that on my channel. You guys can check that out like a little bit later. The other thing is like the candlelight processional.
Right.
I don't know if they had that at Disneyland. Have you guys seen that at Disneyland at all? Chris or Culture?
I haven't.
I've never seen it. I wouldn't surprise me if it existed.
It does not nearly the way it used to with the Wu-Tang flu and all this. This was from like 3 years ago.
I think 2018 wasn't this Neil Patrick Harris?
This was actually CCH Pounder.
Oh, okay.
So I've seen it with two narrators. I've seen it with CCH Pounder and I've seen it with Gary Sinise twice. When Gary Sinise does the narration of the biblical Christmas story, it's amazing.
Wow.
He's my favorite narrator, hands down. They hardly get him because he says usually around Christmas he's doing stuff for veterans charities, so he really doesn't have time. But he'll like send children of like Gold Star families, like he'll charter a whole plane and send them down to Disney World. Yes, Handel's Messiah, exactly. And Theme Park Casual says yes, they have it. That's where it started at Disneyland. But live music, I don't know if they're doing it this year with the live music. I've seen the stage, but I haven't been there lately. But they have like all these people singing and the narration, and it's just great. So it is free. If you buy a dining package, you can get like priority seating, but you don't really need it. Even if you're just walking by, you can listen to it. So it's like amazing. Yeah, Gary Sinise was awesome when he narrated this. So I'm just gonna scrub a little bit, see if I can get to where CCH Pounder was. I remember where she was. I think I accidentally skipped over.
Yeah, there's a narrator.
There she is. That's how close I was at that time. I was that close.
That's cool.
Yeah, when the dining package was actually worth it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not now.
Tables in Wonderland was amazing at Disney World for a long time, and recently it is not worth it. Again, they are removing value at every level at Disney World. I do not know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on, but
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then now the guy that's in charge was in charge of destroying the value in the parks is now in charge of the company. So,
Oh, you said Busch Gardens. I really wouldn't equate Busch Gardens with Knott's Berry Farm. I think Knott's Berry Farm is actually better.
Knott's Berry Farm has one of the best flume rides that you could go on. To be honest with you, the best log rides you can go on. So
I love that ride.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm going there over the holidays.
Yeah.
Maybe even this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Well, gosh, that's gonna cost you like $250 in gas, Chris.
Exactly, to drive from Pasadena to the Anaheim area.
That's right.
God, oh my
man.
God, please, just California. Oh, I used to love it here. What is going on with the world?
I see California license plates out here.
Well, see, this
with
is the thing.
U-Hauls.
Is like I don't want. My fear is also in moving is I've heard some friends of mine who moved to Texas. Like if you have a California plate, they actually will not let you like into traffic if you like, even if you're using your signal, because they just don't like Californians coming in, right? Like, but you know, just know I'm coming there to escape this nonsense.
Yeah. Well, once you put the proper plate on your vehicle, you'll be good.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Once you're
right.
no longer, an eyesore because you have an out-of-state plate, and that's for everybody pretty much. Once you have a Florida license plate, you blend for the,
Oh
for
my
the
God.
most part, but you'll be fine. But this is for right now. They're not charging for right now to see this. So if you're at Epcot, this is definitely a must thing to try and see. Another thing that is a must see. I'm trying to think. Food or stories?
Oh, can I ask about food? I was going to ask you about food.
Oh, go ahead.
The restaurant experiences. One of my favorites is always going to Pirates of the Caribbean and then eating at the Blue Bayou. Like that.
Yes, I remember the Blue Bayou.
And you could get like a virgin mint julep, which like I say, if you use my my flask tip from earlier, you can make it a non-virgin. Yep. But I want to ask, like, what are your favorite restaurants and whatnot? I mean, I know that Knott's was made famous specifically because of their chicken dinner. That. I mean, they built so Knott's started, for those that don't know the history, started as a restaurant that served this amazing chicken dinner where they had lines going just for blocks, where they built the theme park as a distraction so people would go ride a roller coaster while they waited to be seated to eat chicken dinner. That's actually how Knott's began as a theme park.
Wow.
So that's how popular their food was. But what are your favorite food choices? Blue Bayou is one of my favorites, mainly because of the view. I mean, just like it's so cool to sort of be in that space and also hear the sort of the ambient sounds. That's the thing that Disney is really good at, those kinds of details. And I think that's also what really works well about Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It's about the smells and the music. Certain parts have different kind of music just kind of in the air. Even when you go to the bathroom, I think you know what I'm talking about at Wizarding World, right?
Yeah.
Moaning Myrtle.
Yes, that attention to detail is so awesome. But can Lorraine, I would love to know your favorite dining tips or experiences, restaurants that you recommend.
Tips is one, book early.
Oh yeah.
That's like the biggest one. But some of my favorite restaurants are in the monorail resort area. Like, for example, let's see, like Narcoossee's is one.
Oh God,
because that is literally right there on. Not only is it right there on the water, not only is the food extremely good, but you get to see the electric water parade and the fireworks if you time it right. And all the fireworks music is piped in. And not only can you see it at your seat, but you can actually go out there on the observation deck you know, and watch. And I've never had a bad meal there. Yes, it is a little bit
It's
pricey, but at Christmas, sometimes they'll have like extra, you know, Christmas drinks out there that you can have. It's like non-alcoholic, of course, but they have it out there. Food's great. Location is amazing, especially if you want to see the fireworks and you don't want to get smoshed in the, you know, mosh pit. You don't want to pay for the disgustingly expensive dessert party. Just pay for a meal at Narcoossee's. So Narcoossee's is one. The California Grill is another.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
the Contemporary, and it's all the way up at the top. Again, 2 reasons. If you want to see the fireworks, book a meal. I want to say maybe 45 minutes before the fireworks are scheduled to start. You can go out on this observation deck, 15 stories up. You can go out on the observation deck and watch the fireworks. You look right down into Tomorrowland and you can see the fireworks, and it looks absolutely fabulous. Even if you eat there a little bit early, like say like 7 or 8 o'clock, they will still let you back up to see the fireworks. Just bring the receipt for
if you have a
your
receipt.
meal.
Yep.
So that's number 2. The third one, which surprised me, is La Hacienda de San Angel at Epcot. Not the one that's outside. This one is inside.
Yeah.
It's Mexican hacienda style food. It's all glassed in because you can actually see the fireworks from there.
It is good food.
Good food. I had a whole achote chicken. A whole chicken, dude. They brought to the table.
Oh, that's great.
They bought a whole chicken. So those are like 3 of my favorites. I used to like, what did I used to like? I used to like, what was that one called? It was Le Cellier. I used to like Le Cellier in the Canada Pavilion. It's not as good as it used to be. It's still cozy. It still is. I just think it's a little overpriced for what you get.
Yeah, and I like the Italian food in the back of the park. They're at the top of the World Showcase. Yeah, no, Via Napoli.
I don't think I've been to Vita.
Yeah, it's the very back restaurant. They serve amazing pizza, but they also have many other great dishes. It's great to take the kids to because they use brick fire ovens, and the 3 ovens that they have.
Oh, do they have the faces on them?
The faces, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people like that, so they're like the stone carved faces that are actually in the mouths is where the pizza ovens
I couldn't get into that one. That's why I didn't go.
It's very cool. And obviously Club 33 at Disneyland is one of the best places in the world to have a meal.
I've been there twice.
Yeah, and then
one of the greatest experiences ever.
And then to be able to watch Fantasmic from the balcony. Yeah.
Man, I love that.
Then you have let's see, going back to Florida. I love most of the Disney Springs restaurants. I mean, Morimoto is one of the best places for a fusion Asian fusion dinner you could go.
I agree. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, incredible. There's sushi. Everything about it. Everything they serve you is just beautiful. And if you go there, eat the appetizers. You should plan a day that all you're going to do is go in there and just eat the appetizers for dinner because there's like 7 of them, and then you have to go back the next day and eat like the actual food that they make. But it's really good. I actually several of the G&G people and some other people I met there, and we had an amazing dinner. Jeremy and Drunk and everybody. It was really good. And then La Cocina Frontera, which is a great Mexican place in there. And if you want amazing cocktails and down home cooking, Homecoming is amazing. So but these are all celebrity chef restaurants. I just named 3 celebrity chef restaurants. So if you want a pure Disney experience, Edison. If you want a cocktail Disney experience, Edison is incredible. The cocktails are out of this world. And if you want to have an amazing wine experience, eat upstairs at Wine Bar George. Wine Bar George is incredible. First of all, George is always there. I have never been there when George has not been there. And they are tapas plate meals for the most part, and just amazing selection of wine. Just really, really good. So, Yeah, but I can go on forever. I mean, I can name like a bunch of great places to eat at Disney.
There's so many, but Culture hits good ones.
Universal, across from the weird ancient Greek attraction things show, there is a restaurant. I think it's called Mythos.
Yes, it's Mythos.
Yeah,
highly
that
rated.
is very, very good. Obviously, in the morning, I love to eat at 7 broomsticks.
3 broomsticks.
3 broomsticks.
Gotta eat there and have like the hot butter beer and just the food. The fact that they bring you the corn and the shuck is still in the top of the corn.
Well, that's dinner, but yeah, the breakfast is good there too. But
yeah,
I'm weird like that. I mean, I evaluate restaurants by their breakfast more often than their dinners. So, but yeah. But I like and as Lorena said, if you're looking for a high end experience, Victoria and Albert's at Grand Floridian Resort is very, very good, very similar to Narcoossee's experience. So very, very good. And gosh, Universal has just, I can't even tell you. I mean, City Walk has 3 amazing restaurants. There's a Mexican food place there that'll knock your socks off. I don't know.
What's the name of that place? Because I've been there. I think I know the one you're talking about.
I'm trying to think.
The middle.
Antojitos, I think it is.
Yes, Antojitos. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good. I'm crazy about food though, so I'm weird like that.
It's delicious. I just like disrespectful desserts.
Thanks, Cal.
And this is probably the most disrespectful thing that I have ever freaking seen, which is the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian, which yes, it is that big. It's so big.
Is it legit? Is it edible?
It is legit edible, dude. Legit edible. God. And it's so big that there's a person inside and a counter where you can go and order all of these other disrespectful stuff like
it's true.
Peppermint bark, gingerbread cookies, truffles.
It's a gift shop. It's a food gift shop.
Yes, this is the one with the gangster Santa in it. Yeah, it is. Wow. We called him Gangster Santa because of how dude looked. But yes, it is one of the biggest things that you have to check out, just as long as you can get there.
And it's been bigger, actually, to be honest with you. You actually used to be able to walk through the gingerbread house. I may actually have video and photos of a much larger gingerbread house that you could walk through. But they build this amazing thing. It's very, very impressive. And again, it's gingerbread. You could eat it. And at Beach Club, it's Beach Club, right, where they have the carousel.
Yes, that is the Beach Club.
Yeah.
They have a gingerbread house. It's literally a gingerbread carousel, gingerbread and chocolate with
and
rotates with the horses.
The horses are made of marzipan, I think. Am I mistaken? There's like something amazing.
Part of it, like molding chocolate, I think, and marzipan.
Is that
these are like the
stuff you can buy?
Yeah, this is all the stuff that you can buy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything. Just like their peppermint bark is so good that I had to hack the recipe when I got home, because it was literally that good. And this was the night before it officially opened the next day, because as soon as this opens, it's mobbed. There's always people taking pictures in front of it, buying stuff out of it. It's constantly busy. The one time that I did stay, I think the second time that I stayed at the Grand Floridian, I could barely get in the lobby around the Christmas holidays because of you have the gingerbread house here, and then there's a Grand Floridian Christmas tree, which is across that grand foyer. So that's where lots of people go to take pictures, because they don't charge for admission. Again, you just have to get there. And it's something that people like to do. So it's something that you definitely want to check out. Like all of these window panes, that's like sugar work.
You're kidding.
No.
Oh my God.
No, it's
Can
like,
you imagine just letting loose a bunch of kids and just seeing how long they could spend eating everything, that'd be very funny. There'd be like a Willy Wonka moment, right?
Oh, you know, somebody's brat went up there and tried to lick it.
100%. Some kids made it past those, past the gates or whatever, and ate some of that. I mean, that's amazing.
The hanging like Mickey's. Yeah, it's just all this like sugar, all the Santas everywhere. This is just all.
That looks like Yoda's shadow. You know, the way that cut underneath in the yellow, that looks like a silhouette of Yoda. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things.
I hadn't thought about that before.
Yeah, you see the yellow right there? Kind of looks like Yoda's big ears. And I don't know. It's just me. Does anyone else see it, or am I crazy?
I hadn't seen it before, but now that you say it, I don't think I can erase it.
Yeah. Now you can't even. You can't.
I have not thought about that before.
That's like a hidden Mickey. It's like a hidden Yoda.
Oh boy.
It's like I said. Rogue Disney says a salad at Docking Bay is actually pretty good. I still don't feel comfortable inside the Grand Floridian. It feels like your rich uncle's house. You know, it's like I like being in the Grand Floridian. Granted, the Polynesian is always going to be my favorite. It always is. I love being in there. It's so like laid back Christmas, but this is like that classic Victorian Christmas. So that's the one reason why I like the Grand Floridian with stuff like this. But yeah, that is something you definitely have to do, just to say that you went and saw a gingerbread house that was this freaking big. And yeah, that's the stuff that they sell. See, marshmallow lollipop, snowman donut, gingerbread lollipop, ginger snap cookie. Yeah, this is all. They even sell a candy snow globe. All of that. It's
I don't need any of that. It would be bad for me, but I want it really badly.
It's just like, you know, it's awful, but it's just like, you know, you want it, but you know, it's like, God, I shouldn't have it. But that's just the food at the parks. Absolutely, that I love. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at this going. I'm going to a party tonight. I'm actually starving myself because I know when I get there, there's going to be really good food, and I really don't have much at my place currently. So this is awful for me to watch. This is why I keep asking about food. It's on my mind.
Oh, I don't blame you. Shoot.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Well, this is the last recommendation that I have is the Christmas storytellers that are. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said, "Oh, should I tell Chris about Voodoo Donut?"
I know about Voodoo Doughnuts.
You know Voodoo Donut?
There's one at Universal City Walk. I've been to the one in Austin, Texas, oddly. But yeah, Voodoo Doughnuts is insane. I mean, that's like, you know, I mean, the types of donuts that they make are just, it's beyond.
It's a club lineup to get into Voodoo Donut.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris goes in there and he orders the Texas donut.
Yeah.
Are you seriously? You got the Texas donut?
No.
I don't remember. All I know is that I'm whenever I go into a Voodoo Doughnuts, I'm making a bad decision. It's either it's at the end of the night and I've had a little too much to drink, or I gotta have it. So mistakes were made, but yeah. God, that place is awesome. Yeah, Voodoo Doughnuts. Thanks, Solar Fathom.
Yeah. Voodoo, we love talking about Voodoo Donut on this show. The last thing is, if you get a chance, check out the storytellers that are at Epcot that they have at the different pavilions. My favorite one actually is the UK storyteller, because literally one year, for real, this is what happened with my family. We went to the fish and chips place because that was like the cheapest place that we could eat, like as a family. They have like a fish and chip shop at the UK pavilion. So we got our fish and chips, went over to the UK pavilion. It has a replication of the English garden, like out in the back. So we're just sitting there eating fish and chips or whatever. And then this guy dressed up like Santa Claus in a green outfit starts ringing a bell and starts coming out. And literally he's Father Christmas. And he just recounts British traditions of Christmas. And it was one of the coolest things that I'd ever seen. And a lot of pavilions have their own storytellers. Like this is the one from Norway. And yes, the guy looks like he looks like a garden gnome for real.
Yeah, for sure.
He really does. So they have him. They have one from France, Père Noël. They have one from Italy. They have the one in Mexico. So it's a cool thing to to check out. It's not charged for yet, not charged for yet, but it's a nice cool thing to check out if you're in Epcot.
Nice. It's a good thing it's not the Seth Rogen Santa from Santa Inc.
Oh
would
Lord!
be, I watched half of the first episode and I couldn't get through it. I said, no, I'm not. No, I was about halfway through and I just said, this is not for me.
Chris,
But hard pass on that.
myself and ladies from the Babe to Menace sat down and did a live stream and watched all of it.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Okay, well then, first of all, one, I wish I had seen it, but like, you got to give me some of the highlights. Like,
it's on my channel.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
I've been told I should do a highlight video, but I can't even go back in there because it was just how dare they freaking do something like that?
It's weird. Like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I listen to YouTube in my car, so which is great. Like, I hook up the little CarPlay and like, like listen to it like a podcast. I'm not watching it per se, but it saves me in Los Angeles because to get somewhere that's very close to you can take 40 minutes, an hour and a half. So I make sure to get a good long live stream, hook it up, and I'm good to go. But wow, yeah, Santa Inc. Boy, you're a better person than I could not get through it.
I think
you were live commenting and watching it.
We were live commenting and watching because what happened was we did a Babe to Menace on my channel. So when I heard about this trailer, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to see this. We took 45 minutes e-fapping that trailer because it was so horrible, and we're just like, you know what? Maybe we need to sit down and see exactly how freaking bad this is. And really, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's kind of like when your girlfriends think, yeah, it's a good idea. And then you start doing it like, maybe it's a bad idea to do this. But we were committed and people hung in there with us while we watched all of the episodes and reacted live to it. It's one of the most vile things that I have ever seen.
It just seems like horribly sort of just disrespectful toward people who love Christmas, but also like the fact that it's like done in a style that would appeal to children, but it's naughty. I mean, I see how you could do that. Like that works with South Park, right? Like that's different because that's such great satire. South Park is, there's some episodes of that are just absolutely brilliant, but that Santa Inc., that trailer, I remember I saw it when it first, because I subscribe to a lot of channels that I get movie trailers, right? And HBO Max, you get their trailers. Netflix, same thing. And I saw it like right when it came out. I could not believe it. I'm like, is this even real? And then the thing that was really interesting is that they dropped all the episodes on one day. Normally, HBO Max's style has been when they're doing a series, it's an episode a week, right?
Yeah, right.
With this, they dropped them all at once, which tells me that they kind of knew that this was going to not go over very well. So they kind of broke their format of HBO Max. Like the way that they release all of their series is one a week, right? To keep you watching.
Right.
They did do that with Santa Inc. So for the next one, will you do the new Sex in the City? Could you do that one,
Chris?
No. Have you done it already?
I tried to watch the first episode. And when she made the comment about her taking that professor's class because she happened to be Black, I turned it off. I said, I'm done. Which hurts my heart because I was an avid Sex in the City fan. Like, first of all, Samantha wasn't in it. So I'm like, okay, you're going to do a reboot without Kim Cattrall. That doesn't make any sense. and it throws the whole dynamic off, and you can tell. But I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll watch it. Okay, it's
Yep.
fine. But that scene came up. I said, no, I'm freaking done with it. I can't.
Well,
It's not the show I remember.
Well, it murdered Peloton shares. So
No, I heard about that.
What happened?
There's
with
something.
Pel-
I mean, I haven't watched any of it. I have only heard from people who've seen it complaining about it, and I think it's very funny.
Mr. Big works out on a Peloton
Mm-hmm.
and then dies in a shower after the workout, and shares of Peloton cratered like 5% or more. So Peloton did a viral response like they've done before when they've had bad crap happen.
Yeah.
And then he was alive again instead of about Mr. Big, essentially, talking about, healthy lifestyles, cardiovascular health and stuff like that. They fought it with that. But like I said, it's one of those weird things. I don't know what the appeal originally was for the show, right? And that's fine. For people.
Oh, you mean the reboot or the original?
The original, but it's okay.
I honestly, I was never a fan, but I had at the time a girlfriend who was a fan. Mm-hmm. So I suffered through it, and there were some episodes I'm like, oh, that's really clever. It's cool to see sort of another point of view. This is women speaking frankly amongst themselves. So it was a glimpse. But Samantha was the best character because
absolutely.
She was no bullshit.
Exactly.
No bullshit. She slept around. She was up for anything. She was she's my kind of girl, is all I can say.
Very unapologetic about her life. So that whole show for me, it was just like, okay. It's cool to watch. Guilty pleasure. Right. But that's what it was. It didn't take itself too seriously.
Oh, it was.
And then they had her come in. They could have had Samantha come in and call them out on their woke bullshit.
Oh, totally.
Or like, what are you doing? Or at least present a different point of view. It sounds awful, and I'll never watch it.
Why do you think she wasn't involved? But
I wonder. Maybe they thought she was problematic. Or maybe she just didn't want to do it.
She did not want to be a part of it.
Oh, wow. Well, much respect to Kim Cattrall then.
Exactly, because
girl's been through a rough go in life too. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Cancer tried to wipe her out. So
right.
Oh, Joker's voice. Keep an eye on my channel because Arcane is we're gonna be talking about Arcane.
I'm getting ready to watch that, by the way. It's
on the list. I've seen two episodes, and someone at work said, "Have you seen Arcane?" I said, "No, shut up and don't spoil it."
I keep hearing people raving about it, so it's something that over the holiday break I'm gonna have to just binge it.
I've seen two episodes, and actually I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed with it. So
now, Lorena, have you seen West Side Story yet? The new Spielberg one? You haven't? I'm a big fan of the original. I love the original. Watching that movie was like a family event when it was on television. It was like, we're getting the popcorn, we're getting everybody like, sit around the couch. We would all watch it. It was a huge thing. I mean, the music from that, and I saw the new one and I thought to myself, why did they make this? I mean, there's some parts of it like he really like recreated it in an amazing way, using today's technology, but it's so Spielberg just kind of virtue signaling, and it just seems so unnecessary. And
it really wasn't.
Which doesn't make sense.
It really wasn't, because the original was perfect.
It is. It's perfect.
Was like like you said, it was like an event. West Side Story is on. We're going to all sit and watch it. And it was just timeless. It was fun. It didn't preach to you, although, it had those themes going on. It was like a retelling of the Romeo and Juliet story, but set in New York. And it was perfect the way that it was. So it's like, I don't want my memories tainted. So I'm just, like I said, no hard pass for me. Hey, Dad Man Walking, no problem. Thank you. This is a great show. Got to go get ready to be in the stream. Sorry I couldn't chat since I was driving. Until next time, y'all. Well, you guys.
I'm not the only one that drives and listens to YouTube streams.
No.
All right.
No,
Thanks,
I do
Dad
too.
Man Walking.
I do that.
Seriously.
But Chris, in order to keep up with everybody, I have to do that when I'm out on the
Right.
road. So you're not strange, man. I got Bluetooth.
Okay,
in the
good,
car
good.
for
I'm not a
reason,
weirdo.
man. No, I just link up the phone, put it on the
Great.
charger,
I love it.
and listen to it on Bluetooth.
And
Yeah,
there you go.
That's
There
what I
you
do.
go. Well, as usual, time flies too much.
yeah, we're
So
old, man.
I can't wait to have you back, Chris, to do another one of
Yeah.
these, because it's just always great theme park stuff to talk about. Love nerding out about theme parks with you guys. It's amazing. I love it. Chris, what do you have coming up to let the folks know about?
Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to be on Quarter Black Garrett's podcast tomorrow, or
Oh,
YouTube
Oh,
live stream tomorrow, talking about a very obscure movie from the 80s called The Lathe of Heaven, which no one knows about. But it's the story is it's based on a novel written by Ursula K. Le Guin. But we're going to talk about, like, if you're going to talk to me about a movie, I will inevitably talk about 10 other movies. So that'll be tomorrow evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then I'm going to be on Friday Night Tights this Friday with the whole crew
nice.
there. Jeremy, Ryan, Odin, Gary, as the gang, the usuals, Chrissy Mayer. So, I'm really happy. This is the third time they've invited me back, and I appreciate being included. And then I'm going to be, I don't know, I'm going to Knott's probably, hopefully this weekend. And then also another weird here where I live in Pasadena, there's Santa Anita Parkway, which is a horse racing track, and they open on the 26th. So the day after Christmas, I'll be at the horse races, probably with a mint julep and a corned beef hash on rye sandwich. That's what I'll be doing. And I'm at Film Thread on everything, and at that Chris Gore. Oh, and then also I forgot, on my YouTube channel this Friday, we do these thing called watch parties, where we watch a movie and then talk to the director and people involved while we're watching the movie. And we're watching a documentary called The United States of Insanity. And it's a documentary about ICP, the band Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse. Wow.
So I can't say who's going to be on, but if you're an Insane Clown Posse fan or a Juggalo, check it out. It's a great doc about the ICP's battle with the FBI when ICP and their fans were designated by the FBI as a gang. It's the weirdest thing ever, and it ruined their lives of a lot of people who are fans of ICP. So we're doing that 5 p.m. Pacific time this Friday.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I got a lot going on this week.
You do,
lot.
folks. All of Chris Gore's social media stuff is in the description. So check that out. Culture, what you got going up? Especially at Film Thread. I like that mug.
Yeah. Look, he's showing himself. Gotta love it. Oh wait, is that grifting? What is it exactly?
I don't know.
It's proper advertisement and promotion is what it is.
Well, it's think about Batman, right? Like Batman, all of his things have bat things on it.
They do.
He's got, he's doing his own branding, whether it's his car, his belt, chest plate. Everything's got a bat. It's got to be bat themed, right? So
I'm working on that. I'm gonna make everything casino theme. So, but anyway, no. What do I get going on? Typical 6-minute daily on the weekdays. Do 6 minutes in the morning to give you the pop culture entertainment news as fast as I possibly can. I average about 15, 16 stories in that 6 minutes. We've got a video coming out, I think tomorrow or Thursday. I'm gonna be, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be on Rogue Resistance tonight if I have time, but I'm trying to do Christmassy stuff. Let's see. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't know where I am. I'm a lot of places. I'm everywhere on YouTube. If you can't find me, check Lorena's channel or Midnight's Edge. I'm on one of the Midnight's Edge channels multiple times a week. I hang out with great people, and every once in a while I get to bump into amazing people like Chris Gore or Quarter Black or just we're very fortunate. We are in a lot of fun. We're in a sphere of a lot of fun, entertaining folks, and so I'm just happy to be wherever I am, whenever I am. So check out my channel. I'm Culture Casino everywhere on the socials, and I have the Odysseys, and I have the Twitches. I'm gonna start twitching again. I'm gonna do things on Twitch.
That's something I'm supposed to try and do.
You want to Twitch?
Do that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out how Twitch works. That's gonna be fun.
It's not that hard. You'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm an engineer. You know, I don't read the manual. I know.
Oh,
You need
okay.
to read the manual.
You're fine. If you can run OBS, you can run Twitch.
Okay.
You'll be good.
Okay, cool. But folks, you can find me tomorrow, of course, at 5 p.m. The Baby the Menace is going to be on Mandy Summers' channel, so please do go and check that out. It's Mandy, myself, Heiress of Chaos, and Mary Mayhem, where we just basically talk about the clown world stuff that's going on in pop culture and entertainment. So that's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Fatal J's channel, the Dark Council will convene. It's going to be the last Dark Council show until the new year. So please come and check that out. Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we are talking episode 5 of Hawkeye on my channel with that Steven Seagal and with Enzo Hodges. You know, we love the Tracksuit Mafia. That's probably the best selling point. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much the highlight of the show. So yeah, we're talking about that. And of course, Friday for the lunch table show, Culture Casino is finally going to be my guest. So that is going to be a great fun time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on. Love having you on to talk theme park stuff. Thank you, Culture, for coming on the show. I appreciate that. And thanks all of you for watching. At one point, we had like over 45 people in here watching. So thank you so very much. Please hit that like button, share the stream out, and we will see you next